As the entire ambience is filled with the intellectual aura of Professor Rao and Professor Cohen, we wish to continue the same vibe for our next session as well. I'm immensely grateful for the honor and privilege of introducing the most awaited and magnetic speaker, Dr. Dinesh Nilkant. Dr. Nilkant is a well-known academic thought leader, dynamic administrator, entrepreneur, and an entrepreneurship education evangelist. He is currently the Dean, Faculty of Management, and Director of Center for Management Studies, CMSB School, School of Graduate Studies, School of Computer Science and IT, and Admissions at Jain deemed to be University, Bangalore. He is a passionate leader with multidisciplinary skills and experience in research, academic policy planning, and development of the innovative educational pedagogy. A thorough academician and an entrepreneur himself, he has developed various entrepreneurship and pedagogic models, such as 21 Steps Towards Entrepreneurship, Spin Model for Entrepreneurship, Inclusive Learning Model as per the National Education Policy 2020 of the Government of India, Theory, Application, Practice, and Research, or the TAP-R model as per NEP. Dr. Nilkant has launched StudentNirbhar.com, an e-commerce platform which is an entrepreneurship initiative of the student, by the student, and for the adherent. And he has designed a software to monitor and evaluate the academic process. Dr. Nilkant has been conferred with various awards and accolades. Prominent among them are Communication and Leadership Award and Corporate Recognition Award by Toastmasters International USA in 2011 and 2016, CMS Center of Excellence under his leadership by the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment, CISI London in 2018, Global Business Challenge Award by Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA UK in 2019, and CSR Eminent Director of Leading Institute Award by Competition Success Review in 2020, to name a few. Dr. Nilkant has also been instrumental in getting the Institute into the prestigious Limca Book of Records for organizing Precipice, an international management fest held in Italy in the year 2012, with the largest contingent of students. A man of deep and enduring commitments, Dr. Nilkant exemplifies the true spirit of both intellectual and business leadership. This spirit is what he has employed in the institutions under his leadership, as he believes in the motto, performance is reality. And it's an absolute honor and privilege to welcome you, sir, as your esteemed speaker of the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for that long introduction.
Welcome,
and,
sir.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm audible. Thank you very much. My pranams to all of you. And after listening to Dr. Jay Rao and Alan Cohen, now I am just thinking that should I have a session? Because the way both of them did a Jugalbandi and they had a session, it was fantastic, and a lot of takeaways out of that session. I don't know how many of the students have actually heard them, but then there were a lot of takeaways. So anyway, I'll take my session, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So respected Dr. Jay Rao and Dr. Alan Cohen, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Raj Singh, all the principal officers, delegates, and participants. So my pranams to all of you, and thanks for giving me an opportunity in this international summit of entrepreneurship, AVLOKAN 2. And it's indeed a great pleasure that to be a part of this. So my topic, which was given to me, was entrepreneurship education and the university education and entrepreneurship. So when I look at this topic, first let me give birth to this topic, and then we will discuss about it. Emerging India, Startup India, Make in India, Skill India, Digital India. Everybody's talking about it. You go anywhere, you'll find that the government agencies, the corporates, and everybody is talking about entrepreneurship. Everybody is talking about conducting competitions, and everybody is telling that, okay, we will fund you. And then you have a lot of, competition between the venture capitalists to see that you can get a unicorn. And this process is going on a huge basis. If you look into after pandemic, you will find that a lot of tech entrepreneurs have come in, and majority of them are thinking entrepreneurship from the technology point of view, not knowing that entrepreneurship is not tech entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is more to that. Coming back to the point is that you have to, when you look at this, people are getting excited about entrepreneurship, and especially students are getting very excited about it. But then there needs a direction for the students to understand that how this has to be done. And this gives birth to the topic, university education and entrepreneurship. After pandemic, everybody is talking about saying that there is going to be a sea change. There has to be there is going to be a big transformation. We are talking about it. You'll find that now, earlier we were not used to online, but now all of us have got used to it. So now people are talking about that, how technology is taking over education. Then the questions are coming in that, is it that online is going to be the next answer? Now all these questions are getting unanswered. But let me tell you something very interesting. When I start with university education, the views expressed by me here are with exceptions. I repeat, when I'm starting with university education, the views expressed by me are with exceptions. So in case if you feel that you are not going to do this, or you are already doing it and you are the best, then in that case, good luck to you. That's fine. But let me give my views on this. The scenario of the university education, to my belief, is actually not up to the mark. 21st century kids are being taught by 20th century adults using 19th century curriculum. Now we are teaching for jobs which are not going to exist in future. By the time a student is going to become a graduate, and whatever I'm going to teach him, at that point of time, when the student is finishing his graduation, you will find that the way the commerce and management and the corporate world is undergoing a transformation, you will find that this will not exist. So the student who is ready for it is not even knowing what to do now, because that doesn't exist. So what I'm supposed to do? Then the question arises that I'm going to teach you something generic. And when you are going to be taught something generic, at that point of time, what is going to happen here? That you are going to become clueless and you will not be that effective in the market. You will not have those skills. You will not have that software. You will not have that technology. And at that point of time, what is happening here? That when you are out as a product, you are not required in the industry. Now the question arises that what is happening? The problem here is that our teachers are not at all equipped to teach all this. So the first step towards this is, towards the university education, is that the teachers have to be equipped a lot. If the teachers are being equipped, now just I'll give you an example. I think the academics fraternity will agree to me that the moment UGC said that a PhD is compulsory if you are going to teach in a degree college. If you are going to have a PhD and if you have a certain number of research papers, then in that case you are eligible for that. And look at it, you'll find that every teacher is trying to achieve it. But every teacher, if would have been updated on the lines of technology, if would have been updated on the lines of what is happening in the industry, if would have been updated on the lines of the softwares what are required to teach the subject, and if you would have been updated with what is happening in the industry on that subject, which we have to now give it to students. My take on this is to the academic fraternity is that the student who is sitting in front of us, all of us, including me, I'm also a part of you. I will tell you, they are 10,000 times faster than what we are here. They have a machine which answers everything to them. And if we are not going to be different, and if we are not going to be tech savvy, if you are not going to be future oriented, if you are not going to be futuristic, and if you are not going to know something better than what they know, I'm sorry, what is going to happen here is that we will not be able to deliver what we want to. So there should be something like an update certificate of teachers, and the upgradation should be on the lines of industry, technology, and research. And this certificate should be given by the UGC to the teachers, and that will actually make the difference. Because otherwise, the teachers are just going to do research. And you should agree to this and take it with a bag of salt that not every research is that good at all. So at a point of time, it's only about that, okay, I have done my mandatory requirements, and on these lines now I'm eligible. Is that the reason why we have come into this field? I have a very big question. Coming back to the point is, we are talking about that people who actually are teaching businesses have never built businesses. And then you'll find that in business school, you will have teachers who are teaching businesses. So the people who are from the corporate world, as well as they have thought, they should be the masters for the students, which can really make a difference. Therefore, the output is not producing high quality of learning experience. And that is where you'll find that every corporate says that if you look into the today's generation, you'll find that they don't stay, they don't have knowledge, they don't know the basics. And all this is because the reason being what is happening is that we are producing substandard output. And this substandard output is actually damaging. Therefore, it is a need and a must where we should all come together from the university point of view and see that we get ourselves updated. There is definitely an effort from NEP, but I also have a lot of thoughts there, because NEP fine, but then there are challenges there also. Because NEP says that it's like buying a new vehicle. We have bought a new vehicle. All of us have read about the brochure of the vehicle, but nobody knows how to drive the vehicle. So if at all, if this is the case, and then if the teachers are not equipped, then what are we going to deliver? We have put it everything on the paper, but then when it comes to the delivery, we are not equipped. So education has given us a purpose. See, education, basically, why education? Education gives a purpose. Education gives a result, okay, and a success rate. So when we say purpose, what does it mean? Purpose, you develop yourself, you become a better citizen. Okay, you say that you are the best in the industry, whatever it is. When we say result, okay, we are talking about jobs. And then after that, when we are talking about the success rate, trust me, this is a very interesting thing. All of you will like. This is I have seen in my education career. I'm a teacher, so I have seen this. When you divide the class into three, that is the top, the middle, medium, and the average. And very surprisingly, you will see the top ones will definitely place themselves somewhere here and there. The middle ones are the ones who are settled, but actually you'll find the average guys are doing really well. And this is how that question comes to me always, that how is that these average guys are doing so well? Okay, so why? The reason being, then it reminds me of a question where a task was given in a class, and the task was told that this has to be done in 7 days. So at that point of the teacher comes to the class and says that this has to be done in 7 days. So the first benchers, all the 90 walas, okay, very attentive people, and they said that, sir, we will think about it. And then the middle guys are saying that, okay, sir, we will try, and I hope so that we will manage. And the last benchers were the ones who got up and says, "Jo hoga dekha jayega, kar lenge, sir." And that is how you find that that attitude, okay, makes a difference for the average ones to be successful. And therefore, the whole class is successful. I'm not denying that the top guys are not good. Definitely, they are good. But you will find that the average guy also becomes a job provider many a times rather than a job seeker. And this has been actually been looked into. So this is a concept of how application-based training they have adopted, and that is how they have worked. You see, the average guys will never sit with a book for the whole month or something like that. So it's like, tomorrow is the exam, and those 30-40 pages they are going to study, and they're going to get their 60-65 marks, and their target is only that. But they are application based and they do it. And never you will find that those average guys have said that, okay, I have lost very badly, I have failed very badly. Don't take it otherwise. I'm just trying to bifurcate the class in such a way and telling you that how, even though the teacher who was teaching them was one and was the same, and you'll find that how the different varieties of the students are there, and then how this application based learning, which is very practical oriented, actually makes a difference. Coming back to the point is the approaches. If I'm talking about the approach, there should be a design thinking approach to learning, as the world of entrepreneurs is quite different. You remember what Alan Cohen said, that don't fall in love with your idea. And then Jay Rao said that, a feedback is very important. So look at it, those thinkers, they are the thinkers of, entrepreneurship. Look at the way, the takeaways they have given. So as the world of entrepreneurs is quite different. Usually there is a highly uncertain environment, and therefore it requires a different type of skill set. Entrepreneurial learning must be through a method and a design-based approach. And how such course can be developed and designed, there should be focused on those skills. So when I'm coming to this part, I'm trying to understand two important things, and that is the about approach and the through approach. Now, this is a very interesting thing what we are talking about. There can be two approaches of teaching. One is the about and one is the through. So what is the about approach? About approach is the traditional pedagogy. What is the traditional pedagogy? Is like which doesn't engage students in activities. Okay, it gives you all goody teaching modules. Okay, and moving away from about to through. Now here what I'm going to do is going through is by focusing on active experience. I remember the IM day which is done by Sunita, one of our teacher. Look at the different countries which come together, and then what is their GDP and what is that country famous for. Now they're doing something. Now this is what is the through approach. If you're going to teach the students through approach, they will learn faster. It's about, teaching swimming. It's better to push them into the pool. Now that makes the difference rather than giving them a theory and writing a full to full marks that out of 10, this is how swimming has to be done. At this angle, the hand should go, and this angle, the leg should go. Instead of that, pushing them into the water and asking them, now do what you want to. And that is where I think so the through approach works. So there is a need to generate an entrepreneurial culture, and teams need to be framed. Each team needs a challenge to solve the problems, develop the growth mindset. There must be a formal course framework to start startup competitions, incubators. Now, this is your syllabus. Your syllabus is this. Your syllabus is not books. The syllabus is where you are going to actually come out with something like, social entrepreneurship, coming out with solving a problem for your society. Why go far? Let us try to solve a problem within our premises. What can be done in an effective way? How effective we can be. So this is what I think can make a difference, and students will learn faster. Countless successful entrepreneurs never went to business schools, okay, and have not graduated from any college. You have a lot of examples on this. And then how they were successful. And because of their success, don't think that, all of them were those who didn't go to schools and colleges have succeeded. There's a other side to it also. But then you'll find that these people, why they were successful? Because they were practically based through their particular work, what they were doing. So preparing students for a career as an entrepreneur, we believe in supporting entrepreneurship to make a difference. Teach them technology, teach them skills, and that is how you'll find that universities can make a difference to the students. If student is coming out with an idea, student comes in with saying that, okay, I want to get into entrepreneurship. Okay, we have to at that point of time understand that how to nurture that. Because every student or every individual who comes with an idea thinks that his idea is going to change the world. But as Alan Cohen said, that idea has to be evaluated. I'm coming to that point, that how that evaluation of an idea happens. Now, this can be the part of the syllabus which can make a difference to the student. Students come out with, we run a program on entrepreneurship. You'll find a lot of students coming in and saying that, sir, now tell me how to take it to another level. We have always seen that people coming and saying that, I have an idea, please fund me. It's not about that. It's about understand one thing. Funding will happen. Every thinker, every person who is an expert here will tell you that if you have a fantastic idea, funding will happen. There are a lot of people who can fund you. But whenever a person funds you, at that point of time, he looks into one particular thing, that how much are you ready? If you are ready for it, if you have to be at least 10% ready for it, then the 90% will come. If you are saying nobody will invest on your dreams, nobody invest on your dreams. People will invest in you when you are having a 10% of preparation. So this gives birth to entrepreneurship. And I've spoken enough on universities, but then I know the fact that, at certain point of time, I was a little bit harsh, but let me tell you that there is a need now where all of us have to come together and understand that how best we can be and be up to the mark, and to the current scenario, we have to actually wake up. Coming back to entrepreneurship, the first thing what I feel here is that you should have a greatest attitude. I'll give you a very nice example and a nice story. There's a family of mosquito. The mother and the father told the child that this is your first takeoff, and you can take a round and come. So at that point of time, the kid mosquito said, I'm getting scared because this is my first takeoff. The mother said, it's fine, you can. And then the child took the takeoff and went over, took a round and came back. After coming back, the mother and father appreciated the kid and said that it was amazing. That was your first takeoff. You did a wonderful job. You know what the kid said? Dad, you know what happened when I was going around? There were a lot of people who were clapping. Now, those who understood, I don't know how many of you got it, but actually they were trying to kill the mosquito. Look at the attitude. And this is what is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not going to be easy for you. So you take off and you'll find that you'll start with problems. That is the greatest attitude you should have. You know that you have started a journey which is not going to be easy. And if somebody is going to tell you that, no, it's very easy and you're going to make a lot of money and then, your idea is great, you are the next Bill Gates and all that. So that's all crap. Okay. It's very important for you to understand that if your idea is great, then in that case, you have to really, really work hard on this, because only having an idea will not work. Execution of the idea is a different story all put together. There are a lot of people, after finishing your entrepreneurship summit, while going home also, you will get 10 ideas, but how to execute it, how to implement it is the big question. So employment is a treadmill and entrepreneurship is trekking. Are you getting what I'm saying? And journey of entrepreneurship is a long one with uneven twists, turns and uncertainties. It reminds me of what do you call in Chinese a crisis? Okay. In Chinese, crisis means opportunity and danger. Now, am I scaring you on entrepreneurship? I'm not scaring you. I'm telling you the fact. Let me give you an example of story of MDH. I don't know how many of you know Mahashay Dharampal Gulati. He passed away. Okay. And do you know one more thing, that initially he was from Pakistan. And at that time, when the partition happened, they came to India. Okay. And when they came to India, when they were in Pakistan, they had a spice shop, which the father was having. And when they came to India, Mahashay Dharampal Gulati was a Tonga driver. Okay, Tonga is nothing but your horse cart driver. Okay, and he was getting this. He was into this, and he found that it is not working for him. So what he did was that he started again a spice shop, and in the name of Mahishasan D Hatti, and that is how it is called as MDH. It's a very famous shop in Delhi, a small shop where spices are being sold. And the people used to stand in queue to take his spices. He used to always charge a little bit higher, but people didn't mind that. People said that it is very nice and that we want from MDH itself. And MDH really made a very big name. And today, you know that MDH is a 2,000 crore empire. At that, why I'm telling you this is, he didn't give up. When he had a small shop, if you would have seen that small shop where he used to sell spices, trust me, you would have never thought that this particular shop is going to become a 2,000 crore empire. And today, you know, MDH is a household name and has made a very big mark for itself, only for one reason. He worked on quality and he didn't give up. The attitude of gratitude was there, and the attitude is that I'm not going to give up because I know my product is good. If you are confident about your quality, if you know that you are doing justice to what you are doing, if you say that I'm going to do my best, let money come later, trust me, then business starts. If at all you are starting a business on the entrepreneurship line saying that कि मैंने business खोला और कल से लोग आने वाले हैं, तो ये सब होता नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं होता. And if at all you say it is my dad's business and I have to take it forward, then you have to take it to another level. That's a different story all put together. That's managing an existing business. So don't give the credit to yourself. It's the credit goes to your dad. It doesn't go to you. So if you want to create something from a scratch, it's like you have to right from day one understand that I have to give my best shot and I have to give my best quality. I have to give my best efforts. I have to go and slog. I have to learn this particular trade from wherever I can learn. It's not about just by looking into, today I see a jewelry shop which is in front of my shop and it is doing very well, so I'm going to start a jewelry shop. It doesn't work like this. Just because your college is doing very well, that doesn't mean that I will start a college. It doesn't work like that. You have to put in a lot of efforts. We have to put at least 15 to 20 years into that particular business, and there you'll find that you create a database for yourself, and that is how business happens. So now you'll ask me, sir, I have to wait for 15 years. No, you don't have to wait for 15 years. 15 years to make a brand. But initially, 1,000 days, you have to wait for the first customer to actually give you a big order. So you have to create that for yourself. The mindset of an entrepreneur, those who are only interested in the consequence and not the process, will only dream about it. They will not do it. Only dreaming. By dreaming, you are not going to get any funding. By dreaming, you are not going to get any business. By dreaming, you'll say that I'll become big. Doesn't work. Okay, you have to really put your efforts. So thorough homework on the idea, whether the idea is identifying the gap. Whenever you come out with something, first ask that self that whether that gap has been looked into, whether you are solving something. Does it have a business potential? Does it solve the problem? And is it giving an effective solution? If you are getting an answer yes for this, then in that case, I suggest that yes, you are on the right path. Look at what you want to create. And if you want to create is truly worthwhile, money will happen. Okay. If you follow your passion without asking what I will get from it, you will succeed. Otherwise, you will not. What skills I should have to build that idea? Networking. Yes, you have to have a good networking. You should also depend, it also depends on who are the people you move with. Okay. To check whether your ideas are brilliant or not, understand the potential of the idea. Having an idea is not important. Execution of the idea is important. That is what even the experts have told you. You have to evaluate your idea. Is there a customer desirability in your idea? When you come out with something, is there a customer desirability? What do you mean by customer desirability? Example I'll give you. You were standing in lines for a Salman Khan movie and Shah Rukh Khan movie, and at that point of time, somebody thought that book my show. The customer desirability. Book my show aa gaya, and then you find that all that nonsense was stopped. When you go to holiday destinations, you find that there were a lot of hotel bookings, and then people were not getting hotel. Then Oyo came in, and you'll find that the problem was solved. So what happened? This is customer desirability. Is that gap is helping the customer desirability is very, very important. So you have to evaluate your idea. So having said that, the most important thing is coming with innovation. So what is innovation now? Something which is mandatory. I want to watch a movie. Correct. It's mandatory. But an undesirable experience, I don't want to go and stand in that queue. So that can lead to innovation. So there you find the gap, and for that gap, you came out with Book My Show. You came out with Oyo. You came out with Ola. You came out with 101 things. So this is how you'll find that you will create an innovation. Let us take example of Tesla. He came out with a concept saying that he's coming out with a car with no petrol, no diesel. And then what he did, he said, okay, you can book the car in $1,000. And what was the booking? The booking was more than 350,000 cars. Look at the amount of money which was collected by Elon Musk. Okay, which was otherwise a battery company thought that I should come out with a concept of an electric car and came out with that funding. And then tomorrow, after the funding came in, ठीक है, कार बनाते हैं अभी. This is the concept. So see, look at the way people are looking at. So when my concept is that if ideas are great, money will definitely flow. Somehow or the other, it will come in. You'll have banks, you'll have your friends, but then I always tell you that 10% of your preparation is a must. You can't have 100% dependency. It doesn't work that. So 10% kahan se lana, sir? Lana hai. 10% you have to create yourself. Then, sir, I don't have money. Go and talk to people. And that is where you will start learning what entrepreneurship. And that is why they say entrepreneurship is not easy. You have to struggle to really become an entrepreneur. And money flows in. Never a good idea has been stopped. It will definitely work. With this, we have come out in Jain University because we are an entrepreneurial thinking university. Now, if you ask me a question that you said about university education and entrepreneurship, how Jain University is equipped, we are trying a level best. So in Jain University, we are an entrepreneurial thinking university. We eat, sleep, drink entrepreneurship. We have more than 50 businesses incubated, and therefore we have come out with the 21 steps of entrepreneurship. Now, these 21 steps of entrepreneurship, I'll request Shifa if you can put in. Can you do that, Shifa?
Yes, sir. We're doing it.
Please.
So just give us 1 second. Is it coming?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it's coming.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to read all this because that will be a huge process. So what we have done is, I'll just read out those 21 pointers so that it will be easy for us. The registration happens, then the entrepreneurship counseling happens, then the business venture ideation happens, then the information learning happens, then the guidance, mentoring, and training happens. Then there is something called must read, which you have to go to the library and you have to read some books, which we will tell you. Then the research and survey happens. Then the IT and strategy that happens, that what softwares which will be used there. Then you have the requirements of the businesses. Then you have the evaluation, then the project formulation. Then you have the internship where you have to really go and work, the business realities and networking, which you have to do. And then you have the entrepreneurial plan, that is the business model which you are going to come in. Then after that, you have the expert scan, the investor's pitch, then the approval section comes in, then the incubation happens, then the legal and documentation happens, launch happens, the shared services are being given, and then the secretarial assistance has been given. So this is how you find that if your idea is worth, it goes with all these processes. And trust me that when you go through these steps, at a point of time, when you reach the 5th and the 6th, at that point of time only, you will realize that it is not easy to reach the last step. You will reach the last step only when you are confident that your idea is going to work, and then you are going to put efforts, because right from internship till funding, everything is being taken care of. If this is being taught as a syllabus to the students of entrepreneurship, I'm very sure that they will learn entrepreneurship in a better way. So this was what I had to say on entrepreneurship. So I thank you for your precious time, and it has been an honor to be with all of you, and thank you, and thanks for making me a part of AVLOKAN. So if there are any questions, I will take the questions.
Sure, sir. We have a few questions for you, sir, from our participants. So first question comes from Dr. Megha Soni. She tells that, can you please suggest some of the ideas about green entrepreneurship?
Is that over? Question is over?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Madam Meghna, see, now the thing is, when we talk about green entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, there is a lot of information on Google. So there is no need that I have to give you something. But let me tell you that we are talking about sustainability. We are talking about that how we can save the planet. So when you take initiatives which can save the planet, which can actually help the society beyond profits, you are talking about something on green entrepreneurship. But let me tell you, if you're really looking into something like this, you can also look into that how you can save trees, and you can find alternatives for paper. I think a lot of things have come now into the market where you have alternatives. There's no need that you have to cut trees for this. So that is where you find that these green entrepreneurship initiatives have been taken. But then my suggestion to you is, it will be nice if you can Google, you will get a lot of info.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for your input, sir. The next question comes from Mr. Yogesh J. He says, sir, you have touched upon so many practical aspects. What mentors will do when your students are not ready to learn skills and whatever we are discussing? Most of them think that automatically great things will come to them. And moreover, when 90% of them didn't want to be or don't want to be entrepreneurs.
Sir, you have questioned me and you have answered also. Now, what do you expect me to answer? Because the thing is that, see, let me tell you, my dear friend, that learning is something where you should have that urge. And with that, you are going to bring a revolution. Okay, now that is, like, for example, if you're talking about Bill Gates, and when we talk about computers, he was not well versed with computers. I don't know how many of you know this, but he was not well versed with computers. But then he had that thought. You talk about Bezos, his so many ventures have gone for a toss, and it was only Amazon which clicked. You're getting what I'm saying? But that urge that I have to do, I have to learn, they're not giving it up. So that urge should not be given. Now, what mentors will do, and what, if that is the attitude, then what will happen is that you will come to that 9 to 5 culture. Employment is treadmill and entrepreneurship is trekking. What you want to do, you do. Returns come that way only. At a point of time when my friend is going to go on a walk, at that point of time, you will be working for some organization, and that organization will be a friend's organization who is an entrepreneur. This is the answer. So it all depends on you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inputs on this.
The next question comes from Dr. Pradeep Desai. He says, Dr. Nilkant, no matter how technologies bring innovative models in country like India, but all outdated transportation survives like horse cart, but airlines lose money. Why this happens?
All these companies today take Ola, take Indigo. My dear friend, all are in losses. All are in losses. Okay. Amazon is in a loss. Now what happens is, how is that they're still working? You know what they look into? They look into the scale. The scaling is important. What did he say? Jairao is talking about startup and scale up. What is he talking about? It's not about a startup, it's about a scale up. When you have only a startup, you will be there only. But when it's to scale up, you'll find that your business will grow. And on the basis of that scale up, you'll find that hoping to that it will work. And that is how these businesses are running. So airline industry, take any airline industry of this world, they are in losses. But still you'll find the airline industry is moving because they work on rotation. So this is how the concept is. Never you will find that. And one more thing, very good question, that whenever you do business and at a certain point of time, you find that you are not making that much amount of profits. But to your surprise, that you are making that much amount of money where you can sustain and you can push the business. You are on the track. So keep on pushing. A time will come where you will really find that you will get into the surplus mode. Don't give up there, because at that point of time when you give up, then you will start losses creeping in. Business karte raho, hote jayega. But don't give up in between.
Thank you so much, sir. With your permission, can I take 2 more questions?
Le lo.
The question comes from Dr. Arshad Nabivani. He says, my question is regarding pedagogy of entrepreneurship. Do you really think that practicing entrepreneurship or businessmen should teach business at universities, or as a teachers, only teachers should continue with doing that, and entrepreneurs should act as mentors? Can they adopt hybrid structure?
Yeah, the gentleman has actually asked a question which is nothing but a takeaway of the entire topic.
Yes.
First thing is that I have nothing against teachers, first of all. I have told that the teachers have to be equipped, number one. Number two, business people should come to business school and share their experiences. So they can come in the form of practitioners. Okay. And third thing is that with that only you will find that you will learn. So it's a learning process, and a faculty corporate meet is a must in every business school, which will really make a difference. If at all we are just going to read books and tell the student that this is what is happening in the industry, it will not work, because the industries are going at a very faster pace. And if that has to be taught to the students, practitioners are a must. And from the practitioners, nothing wrong in learning. And once you learn, after that, delivering it to the students, a teacher can do a better job. That much I can tell you in writing. A teacher, once gets the knowledge, can deliver better than the practitioner.
One of the students asked this question, sir, Stuti Chaudhary. She says, sir, I am a forestry student and thinking of starting up my own venture by including wood products authentically. Could you give some of your views about this?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
She asked that she wants to start a own venture by including wooden products authentically.
Okay.
So how she can go about it?
No, the thing is, see, first of all, is there a need? Whichever place she is coming in, first we have to understand, is there a need for it? And if there is a need, then in that case, there's an investment for the industry, because when you talk about wooden products to be tuned, to be turned in, there's a big investment. And is there a need actually? So let her do her homework properly and then decide whether she should enter into this business or not. So I think she should talk to some seniors who will definitely, some teachers or some practitioners, they will definitely help.
Sure, sir. This is this is not actually a question. I'm getting some of the very good comments. So if you permit, I would like to read them for participants.
No, the only questions are enough.
Okay. Fine, sir. Okay, no problem, sir. So this is the last question we'll take from Mr. Navneet Kumar. University education is preceded by senior secondary education. Then how we can change the mindset of a student who's not having such temperament of learning?
See, it's like this. I feel that nobody can force you to do something. So when you say that you want to get into a particular type of, maybe you want to become an engineer, or you want to become a doctor, or you want to, there is nothing called in India where I want to become an entrepreneur. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So the funda here is that you decide, and then later on when you look into it, and when what is your area of interest, that will decide what you are supposed to do. Now that is where profiling is required. The psychometric analysis is required, and all this is now becoming mandatory. Earlier तो हमको बोला गया था कि भाई तुमको बीकॉम में एडमिशन दे दिया है बस. So there was no questions asked. So it's like, you know, तू कल से कॉलेज जाएगा, बस ये था. फिर तू क्या करेगा उतना हमको कोई किसी ने पूछा नहीं. But it was good actually. That is why, you know, maybe we did little bit whatever we can.